Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you. You had some jumper cards, but a whole clump, so I'm going to put them back in. Here to bring you your February 2020 mid-month general reading. So we're looking at the last half of February. This reading is for the fire sign of Sagittarius. That's Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, if your Venus is in Sagittarius, or if you're cross-watching for a Sagittarian. But as many of you know, general readings always resonate a little differently for everyone. So if you know your other signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, watch them all because it can provide additional or more helpful clarification. Welcome everyone. Thanks so much for being here today. If this reading resonates for you, or if any of the readings resonate for you, and you'd like to reach out for a personal one-on-one reading with me, just click on the description link below, hit that little arrow that pulls down the information. You'll see a little more info and some contact details there. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all main areas of life. And I do readings full-time, so I'm pretty diligent at working with people's schedules and my own to get readings out to you or scheduled with you in as timely a fashion as possible. So if you're interested, send me an email and we will go from there. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what's in store for you for the last half of February 2020 for Sagittarius. We begin with Justice, followed by the Ten of Pentacles, Judgment, Justice and Judgment side by side, followed by the Tower. From the bottom of the deck, overall energy is the Two of Cups. All the fire sign readings, I've done Leo, your other sister signs, Leo and Aries, but I've done some earth and some water after them and before you, Sagittarius, but all the fire signs have such a strongly similar theme for the last half of February. So the overall energy is the Two of Cups. There is a significant union, karmic connection that's at the center of this. Sometimes called the Soulmate card, which could be a romantic or best friend, kindred spirit. Someone you feel very karmically connected to, brought together for the purposes of learning, growth, evolvement, perhaps for a portion of your life, perhaps for all of your life. Karmic connections don't necessarily stay with you your entire life in terms of the actual relationship, but the lessons and the wisdom that we gain from them do. So it's about a fundamental karmic union, connection that you have with someone. Someone perhaps you feel is your soulmate and vice versa. We have Justice and Judgment both. And clarifying them, we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Tower. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of long-term history and stability. The Tower represents something which breaks down or truly shakes up in a really game-changing, life-changing way. Something that also was solid, stable, or that you thought was solid, stable. So I feel like whether this is a romantic relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, or best friend, someone you feel that really close karmic kinetic relationship with. For many of you, this is not something recent. This is a long-term, stable, committed relationship, or a relationship that has a lot of the weight of history and time and effort in it. And since the Tower and the Ten of Pentacles clarify justice and judgment, it's like the piper has come calling. I mean, this is the time for the dues to be actually paid. Justice is the reap what you sow card. What you reap is what you sow. Minimal investment, minimal return, maximum investment, maximum return. Deceptive energy, that's what you're going to get back. I mean, it's the reap what you sow card. So the cautionary advice to Justice is to operate from the highest level of honor and integrity as possible. And Judgment is, both Justice and Judgment, there is an element of the outcome of something depending on the actions of what went before, which is often quite strongly related to justice. You know, how much, it looks like a lot of effort went into this relationship, a lot of time, a lot of effort went into this relationship. You were hoping to build up something solid, stable, and reliable. Now, judgment usually comes along. Both your sister signs, Leo and Aries, also got this card. And the Two of Cups. Judgment usually comes up when there's a choice that needs to be made, because judgment is a call to action. It's a very profound major arcana card. It's one of the archangels here blowing the horn. It's a call to action. It's time to answer. It's time to make a stand, answer for yourself, make a decision once and for all. You're being called to account here for what work and effort you've put into this. And in judgment lies the possibility of perhaps reconciliation or redemption. You know, possibly a second chance. The judgment is often referred to as a reconciliation or second chance card. It's a chance to speak for yourself. It's a chance to account for yourself for your actions and potentially change the outcome of that. There is an air of finality, as I always say, with judgment, meaning that whatever happens with judgment, it's a bell that can't be unrung. However you choose to answer or act in this, that's what's going to set the stage for quite some time. You're not going to be able to reverse it. So think carefully with what you speak, particularly in any dealings you have with this person towards the end of February, the beginning of March. Think very carefully about what you have invested in this relationship, whether or not you honestly want to move forward or not with this person, or if they want to with you as well. Because what clarifies judgment is the Tower. A permanent ending, basically, a permanent breaking down of something that had a tremendous amount of, you know, stability, potential, time, effort, etc. Long-term relationship or marriage. There will be an opportunity, and I got this for the other two fire signs as well, towards the end of February, beginning of March, perhaps a coming back together to make a final decision once and for all. Heavy. It's heavy, kind of like Aries was heavy too, even though I've done some other signs in between. I'm just going to pull one final advice card. How does Spirit think you should best navigate through this, at least for the last half of February, because we're only looking at a pretty short period of time, just a couple of weeks. I feel like the actual call to action is going to happen more towards the end of February, or perhaps the very beginning of March. What to do for Sagittarius. I can't believe how similar the three fire sign readings are, and there's been readings in between them, so I know it's not the cards. Spirit is just kind of, that's just fire signs. Sagittarius, what to do. King of Swords. I feel like Aries got this too, if I remember correctly. Advice. This is a king. Kings and queens have matured, grown, learned, and evolved beyond the energy of the page, the energy of the knight. They're kings and queens now. That means that because of all their experiences and lessons learned, they've reached a point of balance, mastery, control, and discipline over the character traits inherent or natural to them, to their suit. Here we have swords. This is the King of Swords, the King of Air, the King of mental, cerebral energy. This is somebody who has learned to see things very clearly, regardless of what his emotions may, you know, emotions can kind of color and distort reality. When we look through them at reality, emotions can cause us to deny reality sometimes, or try and make it fit what we want, right? The King of Swords feels just as deeply as anybody else, but he's learned through his wealth of experience to balance that and allow his intellect to lead him over his emotions. His emotions and feelings are the horse he rides, not the other way around, and he doesn't allow them to dictate, which is why he's a king. He's a good ruler. He uses insight, reality, truth, enlightenment, discernment, and he tempers that with wisdom and compassion in making his decisions. But he's a very clear thinker. So this is advice for you to manifest this energy of the King of Swords. Do not make this decision. You're going to have this opportunity, this judgment call towards the end of February, beginning of March, within this relationship, regardless of the nature of the relationship. Looks like a pretty profound relationship. And this is going to be kind of the final decision on where you choose to take it, if you choose to take it or end it. That's going to be set. You're not going to be able to reverse this. So be the King of Swords, Sagittarius. Think very clearly. I think I'm going to stop there. Quite intense. Kind of got the same feeling from Aries as well, and Leo too. So may the force be with you during the last half of February. So Sagittarius, that is your reading for the last half of February. I hope it wasn't too heavy, but sometimes readings just come out the way they come out. So I hope it at least gave you some helpful advice or insight or feedback into what's going on in your life. If this reading resonated for you, and or if any of them do, and you're interested in reaching out to me for a personal one-on-one reading, I'd be delighted to work with you. Most happy to work with you. You can hit the description link below, click on that little arrow that pulls down information. You can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. And I can usually respond to initial inquiries within the same day or the first 24 hours with more info. So I will see you all again in a couple of weeks, Sagittarius, and as always, I wish you much joy, love, peace, and strength during this time, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.